Okay, let's talk transfers. Dharmesh Sheth and Kaveh Solakul are with me. Kaveh, one place to start for me, and that's with Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the biggest players in the world. Could he be leaving? What's the latest?
Look, the latest is that Juventus have said that he can leave. He wants to leave Juventus. He only has a year left on his contract. Juventus want him to go because he's costing them about £1 million a week. His salary, I think, after tax, is about £500,000 a week. Now, his agent, one of the most famous agents in the world, Jorge Mendes, has been trying to find him a new club. And of course, there's very, very few clubs who are of the stature or who have the finances to be able to afford and accommodate somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo. The clubs we're talking about, for instance, PSG, Manchester City. Now, there have been reports today that Manchester City are very close to agreeing a deal to sign him. That is not our information. Our information is that he has been offered to Manchester City. And if you go back and look at what's happened this summer and what's happened in the last few days, Manchester City have missed out on signing Harry Kane. So they are potentially in the market to sign another forward. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo is not of the age of a player they would normally go for. He's 36, he's going to be 37.
But he's still banging in
February.
goals.
But he is still Cristiano Ronaldo. And of course, there's all the history with Manchester United to consider as well. So I think where things stand are that he's been offered to Manchester City. Manchester City will look at it, they'll consider it. If it makes sense from a sporting and a financial perspective, I think it's something that they may go for. But of course, the most important thing is money. First of all, Ronaldo's wages, £500,000 a week. Secondly, what Juventus are asking for. Juventus want £25 million before they will let him go. How serious are they about that? How serious are they about that? Because they do want him to go. One other note of caution, I would say, we have to be very, very careful because Jorge Mendes is going around trying to find a club for Cristiano Ronaldo. So just because it may look like one club is about to get him, the situation is so fluid because his agent is talking to different people, different parties. And of course, Juventus have a big say because Juventus want as much money as possible. But as things stand, a lot of people saying, is he going to go to Manchester City? Manchester United fans this evening, very worried that he could go to Manchester City. I would say that it is a possibility. They have been offered Cristiano Ronaldo.
One thing I would say as well, that Juventus find themselves in quite a difficult position here because they say they do want Cristiano Ronaldo out, but by the same token, they still say they want a £25 million transfer fee. But they also know that they're paying him after tax £25 million in wages. And with 5 days of this transfer window to go, I don't think it's very surprising that an interested club would probably not want to pay any kind of transfer fee. They're probably playing on Juve's will to want to release Cristiano Ronaldo in this transfer window. So it's going to end up with a decision for Juventus to make. If they can't command a transfer fee that they want, one of two things is likely to happen. They let him go for free, but by letting him go for free, yes, they forego the transfer fee, but they save on the £25 million after tax wages. Or they say, we're not getting a transfer fee. That means we are going to dig our heels in. Cristiano Ronaldo stays. That means they will pay Cristiano Ronaldo the £25 million after tax in wages for the remainder season of his contract. But it means that they will lose him for free next summer. That is the big conundrum that Juventus find themselves in, and it's the lesson for all clubs when they have a player who has entered the final year of their contract, not least somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, you're totally right. But in the meantime, if they do let him go for free next summer, that season, they've got a whole, 30 goals, 20 assists. That's what he does in Serie A. So, Kaveh, when this first started and it was announced that Ronaldo might be leaving, I thought, no way. And then it was perhaps he'll go to PSG. And now it's like perhaps he'll go to City. Why does it work for Manchester City to take on Ronaldo?
Very good question. I think it works more for Cristiano Ronaldo than it works for Manchester City. From Cristiano Ronaldo's point of view, this guy is a serial winner. I think you could make a very, very good case for saying that he is the world's greatest ever player. A lot of people think he's better than Pele, better than Messi, better than Maradona. Just look at his record. From his point of view, at Juventus, for various reasons, most of them financial, things are not really great at the moment. He wants to leave. If he goes to Manchester City, he works with Pep Guardiola. He goes to a club where he's guaranteed to win titles, Premier League titles, maybe even another Champions League as well. And there's the World Cup coming up in Qatar next December as well, which he's focusing on. From Manchester City's point of view, this is where it's interesting for me because speaking to people, people have been telling me Manchester City are just not interested in this guy. This is not today. I'm saying in the past few days, recently, in the past couple of weeks, people have just been saying, look, get real. This guy's 36. He's played for Manchester United. He is like a Manchester United icon. Yes, he was a great player. And look at Manchester City. Do Manchester City ever buy players who are over 30? Do Manchester City ever make...
If you were ever going to make an exception to the rule, surely it would be for Ronaldo.
Exactly. But that's what people say. People say, do they ever sign players over 30? Do they ever make late moves in the transfer market? But on the other hand, they've missed out on Harry Kane. They need a forward. The question is, how much do they need a forward? Because if you actually look at the statistics, last season, they won the Premier League at a canter by 12 points without a striker, really. People say they had Sergio Aguero, but look at the stats. Sergio Aguero only started 7 games for them in the Premier League. So I don't think it would be an absolute disaster if Manchester City were going to carry on this season without signing a forward. But they are out there in the market looking for a forward. If a deal becomes available that they like the look of, they will go for it. And you have to say, Cristiano Ronaldo on a free transfer who's willing to take a pay cut may be something worth looking at. But I do know there are some people at Manchester City who think that they should pass on this opportunity.
Yes.
They think that Cristiano Ronaldo's best days are behind him. He was a great player, and they think that Manchester City should say, thank you very much for the offer, we will pass.
Well, interesting. And yes, of course, City did win the league without a number 9, but every side around them has now strengthened, including Manchester United. And I know Manchester United fans are probably watching now like this, thinking, our great player, one of the icons of Manchester United, going to our rival, going to the blue side of Manchester. Dharmesh, tell them that that's not going to happen.
No pressure, Dharmesh.
Well, look, there have been players in the past that have played for both clubs. Carlos Tevez, Andy Cole, Peter Schmeichel, to name 3. Dennis Law, when you go back a few years as well. And I think a lot of Manchester United fans will be praying that what Carve said just then, City will take heed of the people who have said, let's pass on this. Because the last thing Manchester United want to see is Cristiano Ronaldo in a Manchester City shirt. Now, what we do know about United is they do have a long-standing relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, George Mendes, which is obvious. They signed him back in 2003. It hasn't been confirmed yet if United were one of the clubs that George Mendes approached. Carve mentioned there that he would have been speaking to a lot of the European football's top clubs, if not all of them. Manchester United would come into that bracket. Against the backdrop of all of this, we are told that Manchester United are very, very satisfied with the business that they've done in this transfer window, because they filled 2 of their main priority positions when they brought in Rafael Varane from Real Madrid for £41 million, and of course Jadon Sancho for £73 million from Borussia Dortmund. And also, given the pandemic and the financial impact the pandemic has had, because Manchester United, however rich they are and however much revenue they bring in, they have not been immune to this as any other club. And with that in mind, any attempt that there could have been to sign Cristiano Ronaldo seems unlikely. I'm just thinking that Manchester United fans will be hoping that Paris Saint-Germain, maybe, will be the saviour. I know we're going to come to Kylian Mbappe in a moment, but there could be a Kylian Mbappe-sized hole in the Paris Saint-Germain squad. Manchester United fans will probably hope that PSG will swoop in and bring in Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. Manchester United fans keeping everything crossed right now. So, OK, we know the position of Juventus, we know the position of Manchester City and what Manchester United have had to say. What about Ronaldo himself? Does he even want to go to Manchester City?
Does he want to go to Manchester City? I think he would go to Manchester City.
Really? So he's not worried about crossing that divide then?
He's a footballer. He's a winner. He knows that time is running out on his career. He wants to play for the best clubs in the world. He wants to play with the best managers. He wants to play with the best players. And from a sporting perspective, Manchester City ticks all the boxes. I think it will be difficult for him putting on a Manchester City shirt if he is to put on a Manchester City shirt. But as Dharmesh just pointed out there, other players have played for both Manchester clubs. So it's not something that hasn't been done before. But I'm not 100% sure that he is going to be signing for Manchester City. I think it's a possibility. It could happen.
So there are other options for him, perhaps?
Well, I think George Mendes is trying to work out and find other options for him as well.
So he's just flying from club to club, offering out Ronaldo.
I think if you're Manchester City, you have to be careful that you're not being played off against other people, and you've got Juventus in the mix as well. So it is a very fluid situation. But at the end of the day, I think it's a deal there for Manchester City to do if they want to do it. If they want to do it, I think Juventus are willing to sell him, and Cristiano Ronaldo himself is willing to move to Manchester City. It all depends on what Manchester City decide to do, because they're the ones who are in a position of strength here.
Okay, that's the latest on Ronaldo. Just 5 days to go, by the way. Not long for this deal to be completed. So from one superstar to another, let's talk Kylian Mbappe. And you have the latest on this one, Carve, because he wants his dream move to Real Madrid. What's going to happen?
Yeah, major developments in the past couple of hours. Real Madrid have made a new improved second bid to PSG for Kylian Mbappe. This second bid is 170 million euros, which is about 145 million pounds. Now, they made their first bid earlier this week on Monday, which was 160 million euros. That was turned down. So this second bid is another 10 million euros. Now, I'm going to be a bit boring and sound like an accountant, but if you would just allow me for a few seconds just to talk numbers, because what PSG are saying is we don't want to sell Kylian Mbappe at all.
Right.
But if we are to sell him, we want to sell him for at least what we paid Monaco for him. And they paid Monaco 180 million euros. That is what everybody thinks they paid, 180 million euros. But in actual fact, they've only paid 145 million euros to Monaco so far for Kylian Mbappe. The other 35 million pounds is due to be paid if they sell Kylian Mbappe or if they renew his contract. So think of that figure, 145 million. And Real Madrid, by going in with these bids of 160, 170 today, they can say, look, you've only so far paid 145 million euros for him, and we are offering 170 million euros for somebody we could sign for nothing next summer. So as far as Real Madrid are concerned, they are being very fair, they're being very respectful. And yes, Kylian Mbappe is one of the best players in the world. Yes, maybe you could make a case that he should be the most expensive player in the world. But bear in mind, his contract runs out next summer. So I think what Real Madrid are saying to PSG is, we know he wants to come to Madrid. This is a fair price, 170. Take it, and you're even going to make money on what you paid Monaco.
You say that, but you say they're going to make money. I'm going to talk numbers in a moment as well. Because Real Madrid's
let me get my pen and pad out.
Yeah.
Real Madrid's strategy is, from the outset, it's quite a clever one, and they're putting Paris Saint-Germain in quite a difficult position here. Leonardo said yesterday that he is adamant that he will not sell, PSG will not sell Kylian Mbappe for less than what they bought him for. Carve mentioned there is a £180 million deal to Monaco, of which they've only paid 180 million euro deal to Monaco, of which they've only paid 145. Now, if they do sell him, then they have to make up the rest of that money, the other 35 million euros, which will still make a total cost of 180 million euros. Real Madrid's bid is 170 million euros. So if we take what Leonardo said on face value, he will not be selling to Real Madrid at that price, because it is 10 million euros less than what they paid Monaco for Kylian Mbappe. What PSG, to me, are trying to do is to position themselves so that the onus is firstly on Real Madrid and secondly on Kylian Mbappe. Their priority, number one priority, for the last 18 months or so, when they knew Kylian Mbappe was approaching the final year of that contract, was to keep him and to extend his contract. They're also playing on the fact, and they've made this very public yesterday, Leonardo said, Kylian Mbappe has promised us he will not leave for free. Something is going to have to give in this scenario, because if Real Madrid's offer is not accepted and PSG cannot tie down Kylian Mbappe to a new contract, then Kylian Mbappe will leave for free for Real Madrid. So PSG will then tell their fans, he promised us that he would not leave for free. But if he does, then PSG can say, he is the one who has broken the promise. We did everything we could, But Kylian Mbappe decided he wanted to go to Real Madrid. He decided he didn't want to sign a new contract, and he decided effectively to break that promise not to leave for free. Now, look, the president, Nasser El Khalifi, has been speaking today. He was asked a question, Kylian Mbappe, deal with Real Madrid, question mark. He said, I will speak later. Now is not the right time. I'm working. I'll speak later. He's going to have to speak sooner rather than later because we've got 5 days for something to come to a head.
Can I just make one very quick point?
Yes.
I will say that I think PSG's position is that if Real Madrid want to sign Kylian Mbappe, they're going to have to break the world transfer.
So we're talking over 200 million euros,
world transfer record is about 198 million pounds for Neymar. They are saying, give us more than that and you can have Kylian Mbappe.